Hey, I'm catiewahwah and you're watching The Record Review. Hey guys, I hope that you had a good record store day this year if you decided to go. I had a pretty successful trip. I didn't get everything that I wanted to get, but I thought I'd show you guys what I did get. So I did actually vlog a bit of my day on Saturday.
Good morning. It's about 6 a.m. and the birds are singing. Coffee, please. Coffee. Good morning.
So just arrived on the queue, it's about a mile long. What'd you say? It is! How far's a mile then? I went to two record stores on Saturday. The first was Rough Trade East on Brick Lane, and that was quite insane. I got there at about 7:30 a.m. They weren't supposed to open till 8 a.m. and the queue was already winding around about 5 blocks. I did not know that it was going to be as popular as it was, but I guess it makes sense, but I did not realize there would be that many people. I didn't end up getting into the store until about 10 a.m. I'd say. So it took about 2 hours from the store actually officially opening for me to actually get into it. I think that their setup at Rough Trade East was a bit, I don't know, I feel like it's at that year this year for Record Store Day when it's popular enough that a lot of people want to go, but they haven't quite sorted out how to make it the most efficient. So when I went into Rough Trade, it was just a bunch of crates at the front with the 12 inches, and then the 7 inches were like behind on a table at the back, and there were like swarms of people everywhere, and all the crates were kind of blocked up, and it was nice to see that many people interested in buying vinyl, but it was a bit overwhelming. I was like, ah. I went into like aggressive survival mode, I think, and I was like, Arr. Then though, I'm really happy because the second store I went to afterwards, because I couldn't find a couple of the albums I really wanted, so I just went up the road and onto Bethnal Green Road, and there's a store there called Flashback Records, and I think they had 3 different shops in London, and they had such a good system. They just had their list of all of the stock, and then they had the guys behind the counter, and you would just go up and say what you wanted. They said whether they had it, and then you went downstairs to meet them, and so they went to their stock, they picked it up, and then they just handed it over to you at the bottom. That was perfect. They have a good organization system. I hadn't ever been to that store before, but I was in there waiting to go up to the desk to place my order, and I was like, this is really nice, so I'm going back there. Anyway, I know what you guys are all actually excited for, and that is the haul of what I actually got, so let's just get straight into that. So I'm gonna start with something that is a bit, not quite a record, so bear with me. Metallica decided to buck the trend and release a cassette of some previously unreleased tracks that they'd recorded in the 80s. I know it might seem a bit surprising, but I really like Metallica. That sort of heavy metal is really cathartic for me sometimes, and sometimes it's like the exact music that I want to listen to. I just thought that was quite cool. It's like when everyone else is doing records, they're doing cassette tapes and they're bringing that back. It looks like an old demo tape that they've just recorded on. The font for it looks like handwriting. I actually have to find a tape player now because I don't know where mine is from years ago, so but I just thought it was so cool. I had to get it, and there were only like 3 in the shop, so I thought, get it, I need it. The next thing I got was the Chvrches 7-inch. I actually couldn't find this in the Rough Trade. It was completely sold out there, but they did have it at Flashback, and it's got Getaway and Dead Air. It's a double A-side, and I like both of these songs, and I really like Chvrches. I reviewed the Chvrches album last year. I'm quite a fan of these guys. The next record I got was the 7-inch double A-side Charlatans record. The first song's Emilie and the second song's Emanuel. The Charlatans had this instrumental. 2 different people wrote 2 different sets of lyrics to the same music, which I thought was really cool. I really like the Laura Cantrell version. It's also on yellow transparent vinyl, which is cool. Next I got something that Record Store Day does every year, I think, or specifically this year, but they have these things called side by side. So again, it's a double A-side record, and it's 2 different bands or artists covering the same song. The song for this one is Bad Reputation, and it's Freedy Johnston on one side, and then the other side is Death Cab for Cutie. I really like it. I really, really like it. And I also had never actually listened to Freedy Johnston before, and then I've discovered a new artist because of that. I am seeing Death Cab for Cutie in November, December when they play at Brixton, so I'm just in like a Death Cab mood at the moment. This record is also on colored vinyl. It's like a pale blue and it's kind of speckled, I'd say, with transparent vinyl. I don't know, I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be. It looks kind of like dotty, but it's cool. This is one of the things I love about Record Store Day. Like, there's all like just cool records. There's like that extra bit of effort in every record to just make it something extra special. So next I got another one of those side-by-side records. This one is one of the Split Sevens. It's like side-by-side or Split Seven. They have two different names for them. This one is Junior Kimbrough's song Meet Me in the City as performed by Junior Kimbrough and the Black Keys, and I love the Black Keys. Brothers was the first album that I ever bought on vinyl. I love their sound. It's quite stylized. There's the black paper sleeve. This record actually also came with a massive poster. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to put that up anywhere, but I don't know, it's nice. The next record I picked up is one that I just recently got into, which is probably going to sound absurd now when I tell you who it is, but it's Dilla. I've had the album Donuts for about a year and I didn't really listen to it properly, and then I saw a really great video from another YouTube channel called Final Rewind where he had given all the backstory to Donuts, and I was like, oh wait, like now this makes so much more sense to me. And so when I saw that there was a special release from Dilla for Record Store Day, I was like, I have to get this. What I think is really cool about it is that it's the same track Love, but the A-side has the vocals on it, and then the B-side just has the actual instrumental that Dilla made. So you can listen to it with the added vocals, or with just like as Dilla made it. Now we're gonna go back in time quite a bit, but this is one of the records that I was so excited to get because I really love this artist. It's the Dusty Springfield 7-inch. I mean, it's not a double A-side technically, but I think it's a double A-side because it's What's It Gonna Be and Spooky on the B-side. So I've been doing a bit more research into Dusty Springfield's background as well, and I find her whole career so interesting. If you don't know about Dusty's background, then go look it up because she is so interesting. The song Spooky actually features in like 5 different versions in one of the episodes of American Horror Story. I will also tell you guys a little story about this record. When I went to get it from Rough Trade, I didn't see that the 7-inches were on a different table from the main crates, so I was really sad because I kept going through all the boxes looking for this record like as the first record that I would find, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and it was so sad. And then I realized that the 7-inches were like on a different bit. I just want to say though also, Spooky sounds amazing on vinyl. Amazing. So the last 7-inch I got was Kinksize Hits. They re-released a bunch of remastered Kinks EPs this year, but this was the one that I really wanted to get. They're all mono as well, which is quite rare to find. If you're trying to find an old copy of this, it's quite hard to find it in the original mono, so it's nice that they're re-releasing them in that. This has got my 2 favorite Kinks songs on it, You Really Got Me and All Day and All of the Night. So moving on to the 12-inches. This year there are a couple of artists who I picked up who had released singles on 12-inches, which basically means that you get better audio quality because just technically they have more space on the record to have more detailed waveforms. If you think of the literal waveform just zigging up and down on those, it's quite cool watching these play because the needle goes crazy. So the first one of those I picked up was Little Dragon Pink Cloud. I really loved Nabuma Rubber Band, which they released last summer. This record, I just had to get it. It's pink marbled vinyl. It's beautiful. The B-side is a remix of Underbart, and it's just so pretty. I saw it and it was like left there, and I don't know if people just don't know who Little Dragon are. I really love them. This is another record where I feel like you're only really gonna find that record on Record Store Day. The next record I got was also a 12-inch single, and it's Florence and the Machine. I'm a big fan of Florence. I am eagerly anticipating her upcoming album. And this is the single with What Kind of Man, and on the B-side it's As Far As I Could Get. Apparently this is meant to be copper, but I think it's more gold. And then the vinyl itself is a beautiful blue, which is quite fitting seeing as the album is called How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful. I was actually surprised because there were quite a few of these left, even in Rough Trade. I don't know why that was. Like the things like the David Bowie picture discs were gone. The Father John Misty heart-shaped vinyl, gone. But Florence and the Machine, like people love Florence, right? I'm not the only one who likes Florence. I don't know. The next record I got, I wanted from as soon as I even saw the picture of the LP, and I was so scared that it would be randomly really popular that I didn't even want to talk about it when I was waiting in the queue to get in, because I was like, no, I can't let anyone know how good this album is going to be. But it's called Guitar Safari. It's African rock and roll from the 50s and 60s, and it's all taken from old 45s and 78s and remastered, and it's like a tour around Africa and the way that rock and roll was sort of interacting with different kinds of music throughout Africa. There's like surf music from Madagascar, and there's music from Sierra Leone, Cameroon, Nigeria, Congo. There's English vocals, French vocals, Spanish vocals. There might be more and I just can't speak those languages, so I don't recognize them. They're so good. I really love rock music, but I don't just love sort of indie rock at the moment. I love how rock influenced and was interpreted in lots of different places. And this album is just perfect for me. Like, it's so good. I have a feeling that this record might still be available because I don't think it's going to be like a super popular one. So I would recommend this one. Also, I'm a big fan of yeah music, and you can kind of hear the similarities because yeah music is the way that a lot of French artists interpreted rock and roll. And this is all about how African artists interpreted rock and roll. And it's really cool as well because it doesn't just stick to one specific country within Africa or even to one area, like it's all different bits. The next album I got is Strange Days by The Doors. This is one of those audiophile remastering original analog master tapes albums, and it's also one of those ones that is pretty hard to find on the original vinyl. So, you know, if you can pick it up on Record Store Day, then why not, right? This album is one of my favorites and contains one of my favorite Doors songs, People Are Strange. It's got all the original cover art, and they also include the original sleeve with the lyrics, and it's just touches like that that make you feel like you're buying something really special. The album itself is on that really, you know, thick 180 gram audiophile vinyl they're calling it now. It feels like a serious album, but I just love The Doors, so I'm just wanting to listen to the music. Hands up if you visited Jim Morrison's grave. Finally, I saved this one for last because it's a bit special. Funny story. I did not know that this album was coming out, and then I saw it on the list at Flashback Records of like the records that they had, and it got stuck in my head, and then I just asked for it without remembering how much it cost, and it was pretty expensive. It's the Dandy Warhol's Dandy's Rule, okay? And it's their debut album. It's never been pressed on vinyl before because it came out at that time when people were like, no one's gonna buy anything on vinyl, like release it on a CD, release it on a cassette. And it's one of only 2,000 copies, so it has like a special limited bit written in lovely silver pen. It's got a cool gatefold as well. It's got like all tour pictures, and it's a double LP, and the actual sleeves are really cool. And the vinyl itself is white. I'm starting to feel like I have almost as many white records as I do black records. And then this is the second disc. I'm not gonna show you the other side because there's nudity. So this just feels really special. I especially think with the new Brian Jonestown Massacre album coming out this month, it felt like, I think that was in my head, and I was like, ooh, Dandy Warhols as well. It's nice that a lot of those bands that I feel kind of missed out on the vinyl bit are getting to have their things on vinyl now. Like Blur are releasing really intense vinyl for their new album. So that's everything that I got. I got almost everything that I wanted. The things that I did want, I didn't get, were really rare. Like the Air Playground Love vinyl was limited to 500 copies, I think. I'm actually having a bit of like a dilemma with that, which maybe you guys can help me with actually. I couldn't get it anywhere on the day, but I have since seen it on eBay for sale for like double the price, but it would be mine. So I don't know whether to feed the eBay flippers or not, because maybe we should boycott buying stuff on eBay, because let me tell you, on the day, I saw so many people who were buying things strictly for eBay. You could tell. And it just made me really sad, because I think that when things are limited edition, and especially when you see so many people who obviously do love the records waiting and not being able to get them, it's like, well, why? Why can't we, like, I feel like the only reason why people buy it to sell it on eBay is because people are willing to buy it off of eBay. So maybe if we collectively boycott it, then we won't have people going into these things and buying them and then trying to sell them on eBay. I don't know. But then the other part of me is like, but I want it. So what do? What should I do? So that's everything that I got. I have another haul coming up for you guys soon that was a big surprise to me. So I will be posting that up soon as well. And if you went to Record Store Day, definitely if you want to let me know what you got, what you thought of it, let me know in the comments below. Or if you made a video about what you got, then post the link to that in the comments as well. It might mark it as spam because YouTube doesn't like links in the comments, but I'll approve it, it's okay. I was thinking of maybe doing some really quick mini reviews for some of the singles I got. So let me know if there are any of these that you would like me to do that for. If you're not already and you'd like to be, then be sure to click subscribe and you'll get a notification when I make a new video. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Hey, how are you? I finally feel spring-like. We've been having a lot of like sunny weather in London this week and it's been really, really nice.